My name's Tim McConnell. I'm pushing 65 real fast. I'm a Vespa user and actually have fallen in love with the Vespa and what it has done for my endeavor. A few years ago, I was 329 pounds with all kinds of health issues creeping up. The doctors had me on a myriad of medications, and they just kept telling me you need to lose weight. Well, that's easy said, but it wasn't easy done, at least not at that time. With Vespa and the OFM protocol, I can control where I'm at on my weight loss. I went from 329 pounds down to 185 pounds. Now I'm getting back down to where my goal weight should be. I'm hitting for 170 after losing 144, 145 pounds.
You said something, you wound up in the hospital with an abscess. I mean, you were doing the standard American diet. You didn't know any better, trying to be like heart healthy. So you were avoiding the saturated fats, fatty foods, and carbohydrates, right?
Yep. Well, it wasn't just one, it was 2 times that I ended up in the hospital with abscesses. And I've got the scars on the back that to show them.
You said you kept Krispy Kreme in business.
Yeah, I kept Krispy Kreme, but not only Krispy Kreme. I mean, heck, it was nothing. I'd get on an ice cream kick, and I'd do a pint of ice cream every night. My body, though, was throwing up signals long before those abscesses, and I had no clue that that's what it was doing. Neither did the doctors. Every winter, I'd get these. My skin would get this eczema all over it, up and down my legs, on the back of my arms, just dry, scaly stuff, and they'd give me a prescription. But whatever they give, none of it ever cleared it up until spring come along and I'd get back outside. So I just thought it was one of those winter things. But once as a matter of fact, now I haven't had, this is my 3rd year in a winter that I don't even have anything come up on my skin.
There you go. I mean, so let's fast forward. Like, so you checked out of the hospital, but you at that point you've made a decision to take control of your health.
Yeah.
And so what did you do?
Well, I did some diets at first. I mean, I went on Atkins and Nutrisystems and different things like that. And, that was probably 17. And just look, I played with it for a couple years, watching, trying to watch what I ate and doing the whole, can't eat that. That's too much fat. Trimming off all the fat off my meat that I ate, made sure there was nothing there. So reading every book that I could on nutrition, looking at that pyramid and trying to find.
So you were starting off like super green from ground zero.
Oh yeah, I didn't know anything really, about it. I mean, I had some stuff when my wife and I had studied when we were younger, called nutropathy, just studying nutrition and natural therapies. But I don't know. You get lost in it all.
So you fiddle around with diets, and at some point you came across keto, Atkins, etc.
Atkins, right? I came across Atkins while I was driving truck. But then again, Atkins, I just couldn't go into a restaurant and eat a breakfast of that much bacon and stuff, as some people would say. But it helped when I was driving truck, but it didn't last. There was nothing there to grab a hold of. And then I went and tumbled down to where I had those abscesses. But I found keto, 2.5 years ago, just 6 months prior before learning about Vespa. And I decided, I made the decision, and this was the hard part, is I'm going to do it. I'm going to sell out completely of my former diet, whatever I had ate, and go wholeheartedly. And we'll see if this works. I was told it wasn't going to work.
You made a commitment to yourself.
Yep, made that commitment. And it was hard. My wife is thin. She's got a sweet tooth. And I'd be on that, and she'd bring home a box of donuts that she'd get from the Salvation Army or something. And I mean, that's where she worked and get donated all the time. This is what she'd bring home. I finally got her to the place where I said, if you want a donut, keep it in the car and eat it for breakfast in the morning or hide it. I said, because, temptation, it's a strong thing. So finally, we got on the same page, and she started pretty much eating the same way I do. But I understand that, if I don't make her eat what I eat, I got to the place after being on it for 3 or 4 months that it didn't bother me. I mean, she could sit there and have, something sweet or a piece of sweet cake, and it didn't bother me anymore. Um, but once I had decided to make that switch into keto, I found it wasn't like the first time when I did Atkins. I mean, it actually started working, but then it wasn't giving me what I would hope. I thought, well, I'm losing weight, but I'm still not being as efficient and using my body in athletics as I thought I
You'd
should
already
be.
started. You'd already started exercising, right?
Yep, I already
You,
started exercising.
you had the exercise. You started. You had the exercise down during all this your little dietary journey to different diets, right?
I started walking the year prior to keto, just exercising and started riding the bike. It was all prior to keto. But when that first winter, when I gained 30 pounds, 35 pounds back over winter, was the slap in the face. It says, how can I do this? I'm riding my bike every day.
You got keto working for you, and then what did you notice?
Well, I started dropping weight. I'm sometimes 2 pounds a day, and the weight just pouring off. And I thought, oh man, keto is, this is where it's at. And it is. I mean, it's good. But I was thinking it was all of everything, watching all those macros and everything else, no carbs.
So what did you notice in terms of your exercise with keto? You said you didn't feel as efficient.
Yeah. I couldn't build up the long stuff that I wanted to do. I was getting out there and I'm still doing, keeping my rides short. Some people say they're long rides still, but once I hit 40 miles, gosh, it's like my energy started dissipating. And by the time I'd get home, I'd have to go sit in my chair and just sit there for the evening. I mean, I was done.
So the take home is you got yourself into the keto diet. The keto diet was working for the weight loss, but you noticed a big drop in your performance and physical strength.
Yeah, absolutely. That I did not have the endurance energy.
You didn't, and you probably didn't have the explosive energy or the ability to push, like you say, on the hill.
No. My sprints, I could do a sprint, and 30 seconds into that sprint, I'm done.
So what did you do?
Well, I knew that I needed more energy, and then somebody had turned me on to gels. And before I knew it, I would take 4 or 5 of them on a ride. And I mean, I didn't get a lot of negative from it, but I would get a sour stomach. I could taste those gels forever, like they were just sitting there sometimes. I'm not sure where I seen the first ad for Vespa. I thought it might have been like another gel, or something. And I got in it and checked it out, and I thought, this is pretty interesting. And then one thing led to another, and I ended up getting a $20 4-pack, a sample to try. Well, the first time that I had taken Vespa and was taking more than one on during the ride, I had my stuff in the back in the bag and went out and started and did my ride. And I come out to the place that I normally go, and I didn't really feel like stopping. I mean, I wasn't tired. And I went out and did some more hills and stuff. Ended up being like a 62-mile day. I got home. My wife wanted to know if I was ready to eat. I said, nope. I said, I need to get the grass done before I forget about it. A couple hours later, we had supper, and frankly, I didn't even finish everything. And that happens all the time now. I mean, that's not just an occasional thing. But I think in the long term, the Vespa has become cheaper than all the gels, because when I was going out, and especially prior, I would use the gels earlier, then got rid of them when I first started keto, but then ended up trying to bring them back, thinking that would help me get up the hills. But I had found out that I only needed those carbs for those really hard efforts. When with the Vespa, and it's helping you burn your fat, I said, I had plenty enough energy.
So let's close this out. And what would you say to the audience?
Well, if you're looking at any kind of way to get your health under management, first, do it before it becomes, I got to do something or I'm going to die. I waited too long, and you shouldn't have to wait too long. You know, you've got the information out there, take it, digest it, and start doing something about it. And it can be done. Like Peter had said, he goes, if I can do it, you can do it easy. Because I sat and I thought about it, and you know, I put it off, and don't you put it off. If you're out there, if you're overweight, if you look at yourself, you're not overweight, but you know you're not as healthy as you should be, and you want to be, hook up with Peter. Find out get some information, watch some blogs. You'll find the answers, and they're not going to be the kind that leave you tired and wondering if you did the right thing. You'll know you did the right thing very shortly after starting.